Hi everyone, so I wanted to do my February TBR video. Usually what I do is I pick a prompt out of a TBR jar, pick about 8 books. I try to match a book for each prompt that I pick out. Though this time I wanted to make it romance edition because it's February, because it's Valentines. So what I did was go through my physical TBR and I picked out all the books in my shelf that like feature romance or they are romance books. So I do have a few romantasy here. I've got some Emily Henry, like contemporary romance. I've got some lit fic romance, so like Sally Rooney books. I have like Twilight. I've got some YA fantasy that branch into the romantasy genre. I've got like the Bridgerton books. You can't see the lower layer, but I've got some classics as well, so like Jane Austen and the Bronte sisters. So some of these aren't necessarily romance books, but they all feature a romance kind of heavily in their plot. So I thought I would like focus on books like that this month. So I thought it would be fun to maybe just curate my TBR down a little bit. I think that would be fun. I would love to do a 24-hour or 48-hour readathon. I usually do one in February. I've done them for the last like 2 years, so I'll link those videos down below. So I'd love to do that again this year, so I'd love to pick out some romance books for that video. So yeah, I think I'll pick about 8 maybe. I do plan to read a lot in February. I'm traveling quite a bit, and usually when I'm traveling I do read a lot, and for that readathon that I'm planning, so I think 8 would be a good number to kind of go with. So I'll go for my first prompt. This jar has definitely gone down a little bit, which is good because I definitely overfilled it first time. I'll go for this. Whoa, oh, one fell out. I'll go for that. I'll go for this blue one. Okay, so the prompt is book with a blue cover. Are any of these blue? Oh, they are. I've got The Love Hypothesis, that's blue. I've got The Song of Achilles. I've got Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. This is kind of navy, but I'll put it in the blue category. Intermezzo is blue. The author's name and the main picture is blue. This is not particularly a romance book, though romance is always heavily featured in Sally Rooney books. River Enchanted is also quite blue. That's another Rebecca Ross. It has lots of blue in it. I have the, oh, everything's falling. I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Oh, Divine Rivals is blue too. Oh, I have loads. Oh my gosh, I have loads. Happy Place is kind of blue, pink and blue. Same with Book Lovers. Got lots of blue in it too. It's kind of multicolored, but it has blue in it. Okay, I think I'll pick from this pile, which is the majority of my TBR cart, to be honest. You know what? I'm gonna go for A Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I actually really wanted to read this last year and I never got to it. TBR for such a long time and I just haven't gotten to it yet. I did read Circe by Madeline Miller, and I know that's actually a newer book. Did this come out in like 2011? I think it did. And then I think it just got popular on Book Talk, I think. But yeah, this definitely did the round, so I'd love to get to it. It's a retelling of the Battle of Troy, so it's about Achilles and Patroclus, and apparently it's really, really sad, and a lot of people cry. I do really like Madeline Miller's writing, so I think I will like this, so definitely really want to get to that. Okay, I'll pick prompt number 2 now. So another blue one. Oh, okay, interesting. A book with a map. Okay, I might have to look inside the covers to see if any of these have maps. Definitely going to be a romantasy book. Okay, you're going to see my TBR shelf like totally shuffle around all the time. So as I predicted, it's all my romantasy that I've got to read. So the 2 Rebecca Rosses that I mentioned. So River Enchanted has a map. Dreams Lie Beneath. I've got Powerful by Lauren Roberts. This is the novella that comes after Powerless and has a map. I've got The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, and I know this isn't a romance book. I know it's like a YA fantasy. It's well known to have like the best enemies to lovers storyline, so I would like to include it. I then, of course, I know, I'm so late to the party, but Fourth Wing obviously has a map as well. And then of course I've got this big chunky book, House of Flame and Shadow, which is the 3rd book in Crescent City. I still haven't gotten to it yet and I'm desperate to. I looked through all of these books and these are the ones that have a map, so I'm just going to choose between one of these. Do you know what? I'm going to do Fourth Wing. I think I'm going to do Fourth Wing. I think I'm just like so envious of the Onyx Storm, basically joy and happiness and excitement that's happening with that release. I actually do already have it, so I wanted to get the trade paperback, so I bought it. So yeah, I'd love to get this, maybe binge the series, maybe read up to the 3rd book. I would love to read Fourth Wing. So this is about a war college, and I think it's Violet's the main character. I heard that this is like, has trial elements. It's a bit like Hogwarts a little bit, the college. It's very fight to the death. There's like a big romance plot in this, and there's dragons. I would love, love, love to get to this. So you've got the, I think, the college map in here. I think there's a world map as well. Yes, there is. So it does fit the prompt. So I would love, love, love to get to this. That's book number 2. Okay, we're tidy again. I'll go for prompt 3. Let's go for, oh, this big chunky one. I'll go for this one. What does it say? Oh, it's very long. Ah! Okay, buy yourself a book from your wish list and read it this month. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll do that. I will do that. So that will come at the end of this video. I'll go on to prompt number 4. That is so fun. I love past me for writing a book shopping prompt. I'll go for this pink one. Oh, fun. Okay. A Goodreads winner. That's, I actually think I have 1 or 2 of those. I know The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armaz won the romance category one year. I don't know, is it the 2021 or 2022? I can't remember. So I have that. Check and Mate as well. I think this won the YA book for 2023. I think I'm totally guessing these years, but I know this one as well. I'm assuming Emily Henry did another year. But I know Funny Story won last year. I might just look up if either of these 2 won, because Emily Henry seems to win all the time, but I need to see if either of these ones have won. I'm not quite sure. The Cruel Prince has definitely won, but not for romance. It has won for, I think, YA fantasy category. Oh, Divine Rivals, that has definitely won, hasn't it? And I think this, along with the sequel Ruthless Fires, has definitely won. Again, I think it's more in the YA fantasy category rather than the romance category, but they're romantasy anyway. Oh yeah, duh. House of Flame and Shadow won last year. Did The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue win? I don't know. I'm going to double check with these ones that I'm unsure of, and I will get back to you. Do you know what? I was right about all of them. The Cruel Prince and The Queen of Nothing and The Wicked King have won like in older years. I think like more 2018, 2019. So I will include it. House of Flame and Shadow won the romantasy category last year. I think Check and Mate was YA book. Divine Rivals and the sequel won. I was correct. These both won the romance categories for each year that they came out. And then The Spanish Love Deception as well. So I will choose between these. I think out of these, I'm the most excited for House of Flame and Shadow, just because it's a series I'm already in the middle of out of all of these. I just really want to get to it. I really, really, really want to get to it. I want to finish this before I start Throne of Glass. I've done all of ACOTAR. This is my last Crescent City, and I would love to get to Throne of Glass at some point, but I want to read this one first. It's been out for a year and I still haven't got to it, so I think I'm just a bit itching to get to this, so I think I will pick this. And this did win the romantasy category. But yeah, I tend to always buy the Goodreads winners. I think that's why I have a good couple here. But yeah, I'll go for House of Flame and Shadow. So Crescent City is actually a urban fantasy, so you've got like fae, angels, you have like fawns, you have every magical creature you can think of, but it's set in an urban setting, like in a city. Bryce is the main character, and the first book is kind of a murder mystery book, and the second book's a little bit more political, would you say? I loved the ending of Sky and Breath, if you know, you know. So I can't wait to get to this one. Okay, I'm on prompt number 5 now. House of Flame and Shadow will take me a while to read. Still, I think I still will fly through it actually, because I get sucked into those books. Oh, fun! A sports book. So I could do a sports romance. Unless you consider chess a sport, because I've got 2 chess books, which is weird. It's weird that I have 2, but I've got Intermezzo and I have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. That's more of a game than a sport, but it is competitive. I just googled it, and according to the Olympics, the Olympic Committee, chess is a sport. Okay. I'm planning to read this anyway because I have it on my Kindle, and when I'm traveling, I'm going to take my Kindle with me. So I am reading Binding 13 on there. So that's by Chloe Walsh, and it's a rugby romance. The romance is like the focal point, but I think it's more slice of life, very hard-hitting, quite sad books. But the romance is usually the main point of these books. So that is going to be read anyway. It's going to be on my Kindle. But still, since I have 2, I might pick a chess book. I should have just read the back of this. So I actually think I'll go for Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood, because it's a bit more of a romance versus Intermezzo, which is more of a family drama, a lit fic. So I think I'll go for this one. So this is about Mallory, and she's this chess champion. It says the sport led to the destruction of her family. So chess is a sport. We learn a new thing every day. So she's trying to focus on her mum and her sisters and her job, and she really doesn't want to go back into the chess world. I think she gets roped into doing a charity event where she has to play Nolan, and he's this really up and coming like famous chess player. This isn't a spoiler because it's on the blurb. I think he loses to her and he's like, who is she? Because he doesn't know who she is, and I think a romance happens between them. So I heard mixed things about this. I've heard it's just okay. It's Ali Hazelwood's first YA book, I think. She mostly does adult romances, but yeah, it looks cute, so I think I'd love to get to this. Okay, I'm gonna do prompt number 6. I'll do this pink one. Whoa, that flew out of my hand. Oh, okay, this is an easy one. A person on the cover, so that's a couple. I've loads of those. We have Divine Rivals. We've got the 2 characters on there. There are people on Intermezzo, Happy Place, Evocation, The Love Hypothesis. Would you count that as a person? It's someone's hands. I might count it. Sense and Sensibility. Oh yeah, To All the Boys I Loved Before. Conversations with Friends. Oh, I've got loads. I've got Book Lovers. Some of these I've mentioned before. So The Spanish Love Deception. Bridgerton, which I can't wait to get to. Yeah, okay, that's all that's on here that have people on the cover. So I will choose between one of these. Do you know what? I think since the people are so prominent on this one, I think I'll go for Divine Rivals. So this is like I think it's a World War II historical fantasy, I think. These 2 characters, I don't know what their names are. Is it Iris and Roman? They are actually rivals in their workplace. I think they're competitive in their journalism, I think. Iris's brother has been sent off to the war, which is set in this kind of fantasy world. Or is it World War II? I don't know. I think the gods are at war in this world, and Iris's brother is in the war, and she writes this letter to him. I think there's like this magical portal that she sends the letter to. It's actually Roman who's getting the letters and writing back to her. So I think they fall in love, and I just heard that it's a really, really, really lovely romance story. And I did hear that the audiobook for this is really, really good too. So yeah, I'd love to see what the hype is about. Try some Rebecca Ross, because I heard that her writing is really magical. So I think I'll definitely go for Divine Rivals. Okay, I think I'm on prompt number 7. So I'll pick number 7 out now. Yeah, because I have 5 books here, but 6 prompts because I need to buy a book. I'll go for this green one. Oh, okay. 1 word title. I think I have a few of these. We have Intermezzo. We have Evocation. We have Happy Place is falling over. We have Foxglove. Weird one, Twilight. I would love to reread Twilight. Oh my goodness. I have Persuasion. I have Powerful. Okay, I have a few 1-word titles. Okay, I'll pick from one of these. Do you know what I might do? I might. I know it's not the time of year. I know Halloween's kind of like the time to read Twilight, but I wouldn't mind. I read Twilight as it came out back in like, what was it, 2007-ish? When was it? When the movie came out anyway, is when I read these originally. I remember reading this, still loving it, but also being a bit upset about the writing. I was like, if the author describes how Edward Cullen looks one more time, I'm going to hit something. It is fun, it's nostalgic. I love the first movie. I don't quite like the rest of them that much, but I would love to read this and then read Midnight Sun as well, which is Twilight from Edward's perspective. And I think it's just his perspective based on this book, not the whole series. But yeah, it's always something I've always wanted to reread and I never have. I have a soft spot for the first book and the first movie, so maybe that would be fun. Maybe a fun little book to read during the month. And it's very romantic. Okay, so the last prompt, not the last book, but the last prompt. So I'll go for, I love going to the bottom, I don't know why, but I'll go for this pink one. Maybe because they're the oldest prompts. They're the first ones I put in the jar. Oh, fun. Okay, very easy. Just a romantasy. I have a few still here. I definitely have a few romantasies. So I don't know, would you count this one for my enemy? It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but in a fantasy world. Yeah, it probably would fit that category. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I suppose, is like magical realism with a romance. Is that romantasy or does it have to be fantasy? I don't know, it's very vague. I've obviously got the other Rebecca Ross books that I mentioned before, so I have Dreams Lie Beneath and River Enchanted. Foxglove, I suppose, is technically a bit of a dark romance, but yeah, no, definitely romantasy. Evocation is as well. It's more of a fantasy book, but I know that the romance is really prominent in this story, as is most of S.D. Gibson's books. Powerless is definitely romantasy. I wouldn't put The Cruel Prince, it's more of a YA fantasy with a romance plotline. but I'll include it. Is Vampire Diaries romantasy? Vampires romance? I suppose that's a fantasy setting, yeah. Okay, I still have a few to pick from here though, so let me have a think. Am I going to be shocked to say that this is a romantasy? But I might actually go for it just because I would like to get to it, and I know the sequel's coming out this year, so it might be good to get to this, and it's a nice short one because I do have House of Flame and Shadow, which is a big romantasy, so maybe I'll pick a small fantasy book. But this is about, I think David is the main character. He makes this deal that makes him really affluent in life. So like he's this really high-flying lawyer and he's part of this secret society that he's really powerful in, but the bargain has come to an end and I think he needs the help of his ex-boyfriend, I think, and then his boyfriend's wife. I think they have to help him. So yeah, I haven't heard any reviews on this actually, but S.T. Gibson's known for Diary of Blood. I really liked Diary of Blood. I didn't love An Education in Malice, but I wouldn't mind giving Evocation a go, and it is a series. And something that I said about An Education in Malice was that I thought S.T. Gibson could do with maybe long form, like a series or a longer book, so she can flesh out all her ideas, because a lot of her books tend to be very short. One of my problems with Education in Malice was trying to fit too many things in such a short page count, so maybe a series would really suit her. But yeah, I'll give this a go. Is it romantasy? Not really, but I'm going to pick it anyway. Okay, so that is fun. I'm happy with these. I'll just do a quick rundown of what I picked out. So I have Song of Achilles for blue on the cover. I have Fourth Wing for contains a map. I have House of Flame and Shadow for a Goodreads winner. Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood for sports romance. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross for people on the cover. I have Twilight for a one-word title, and I have Evocation by S.T. Gibson for romantasy. As I mentioned, if I do some Kindle reading, I'm probably going to get to Binding 13. I'm also currently in the middle of The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the third book in the For Blood and Ash series, which is definitely romantasy, kind of forbidden romance. The third book so far has been okay. I think very info dumpy. I think I'm at the 400 page mark and I am liking where the plot is going. I feel like there's much more plot in this one than book 2, so I'm liking that. I think the sex scenes are kind of random in it, which don't really add to the story, but anyway, it's the type of book it is. I think the plot is good, just the world building is a bit weird, but I will talk about this more when I do a review or a wrap up, or I read it in a vlog or something, but I probably will finish this off at the start of February. So I have to go pick out the book that I'm going to buy now. Which is so much fun. Hello from a different angle. So I actually had a look at my Amazon wishlist, which I do have linked in my description always, and I think I'll go for this one. This is the Kiss Quotient, I think, and it's by Helen Huang. What I love about this and why I put it on my wish list is that female main character in this has Asperger's syndrome, and that's actually something that my brother has. So I think the fact that it has some autistic rep, I think, is something that I would really like to read about. Yeah, it just says that Stella, her mother is telling her that she needs to settle down, but obviously with autism she doesn't have the social skills maybe to meet someone. She hires a male escort, I think, and his name is Michael. He does this because he's like low on funds. He has a no repeat customer policy, but he's tempted by Stella, so I think he likes the idea that she's trying to learn how to be a good girlfriend. So it does sound good. I've heard good things about it. Here on Amazon it has a 4.3 rating, so that's good. Yeah, so I think I'll just buy this now. I don't want to film that because it might show personal stuff, but I am going to buy that now and hopefully read it this month. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you past me for picking this prompt because it's fun. Do I need to read the books I already own rather than buying new ones? Yes, I do. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, I do anything book related on this channel, so TBR games like this one, reading vlogs like the 24-hour readathon that's coming up, reading wrap-ups, all that stuff. I'll leave all the books that I mentioned and any videos I mentioned in the description and all my socials. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.